to Straight Up Dog Talk. I'm Em, and we are back again this week with another amazing guest. This week we have Glenn, the owner and founder of No Pee, and we are going to chat about this very interesting product and learn about some of the things I think that a lot of us get a little bit nervous about when it comes to our dogs and having accidents in the home, and maybe change how we feel about this stigma a little bit. How are you doing today, Glenn?
Doing great. Hope everybody else is too.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a windy, busy day here in Iowa, so it's nice to sit down for a minute and have a chat. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and No Pee and how it got started?
Yeah, okay. I'm Glenn Latz. My wife and I actually found No Pee out of necessity. We have two little ones they're not youngsters. They're 9 now, 8, 9 years old, both little mini Shih Tzu, mini Dachshund. So that gives you a little heads up right there that they are very headstrong, both of them. They started marking on some curtains that we have, and obviously that's not good. We tried everything in the market. I mean, Amazon's got everything you can imagine. Neither one of us have a background in this, not like we're, other than having pets forever, we're not chemists and all that stuff. I'm actually in finance. We decided that using every Amazon spray, potion, liquid, gel, and none of it worked. So we needed something that was permanent. So we just kind of sat down and started thinking about what could we use and how would we do it. We actually kind of invented some little powders and some combinations of powders and smells and disinfectants and good fresh scents all put together. And now we have a product. You literally set it down and that area is protected, gives you about a 3-foot radius around it where they won't go back, because basically the idea behind the dog's urine is they can't help it. Well, this works for a cat too, but we're talking about dogs today. The dog can't help themselves. They have to pee over pee. It's that simple. It's not anything they can help. It's in their nature. So our product covers that smell. So when they go back to try to pee, they smell the fresh scent of our bag instead of the actual urine, and they won't go back. Kind of that's where we came from. Just two people, normal people like anybody else that had a problem and got tired of dry cleaning these curtains they kept peeing on and found a way around it, basically. And here we are.
And here we are. Do you have one of it like close by? You want to show everybody? Cool.
They look like, I mean, if you held it in your hand, you would think it's a bean bag. It's about a 4x4 inch square, as you know. It's shaped like a bean bag, but there's powders in it. And you can, like when you smell it, you can smell that has a scent to it. It's not disgusting by any means. It's actually fresh. Smells great to us. Dogs don't necessarily care for it, but smells great to us. But that's the whole point of this. You just take this little bag and you set it down where they've been peeing, and it protects an area around it. That's what it's made to do.
Yeah, it is very, very simple. Something that I like about it is the ease of it. You sent me one, and I have an area in my dining room where I have a table with 6 chairs, and there's one chair in particular.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but it's this one chair in particular. And my little dog, Toby, started marking on it. And then, of course, Fitz was like, well, now I need to pee on it. So I'm cleaning up a pretty decent amount of pee because Fitz is a 50-pound dog and Toby is a 12-pound dog. So when you add the two together, there's quite a bit of pee. And yeah, exactly. So I started putting down pee pads there because I was like, you know what, we're just going to prevent the issue, and I don't have to clean it up because they'll just pee on the pee pad. And then I met you and we started talking, and you said, well, let me send you one. So I'm going to tell you guys, it works. It works. You guys send it to me like a little plastic bag, and my table is weird. It's like got this little triangle on it. And so it has these little cutouts. And so in the cutout, not even on the chair, in the cutout, I stuck the bag.
Yeah, you took it out of the plastic. Yeah.
No, I left it in the plastic bag.
What?
And I just barely opened it, because here's the thing. I am very, very sensitive to smells, and I get migraines very easily.
Okay.
So I could smell it even when it was in the bag when it got here. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to open it because I don't want to give myself a migraine. So I just stuck it down there underneath the table. Nothing. And then I couldn't smell it anymore after, I think it was a couple weeks. And I was like, you know what? I can't smell it anymore. They're still not peeing. So I'm going to open the bag just a little bit. And it's been under the table, I think, for maybe 5 or 6 weeks now.
Wow.
Nothing. Not one single accident.
Well, we know that's how it works, but I'm amazed. Honestly, you didn't take it out of the bag. So that gives me another.
Yeah, here, I'll show you. So you guys can see. I am not lying. It is still in the bag.
Yeah, we have all kinds of different colors, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fitz is saying hi.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different colors.
That? Yeah.
But yeah, the thing of it is, it's very surprising. I mean, we never, which is great, you did it, but we got to take it out of the bag. That's our on the directions. Set it down. But if it works, that's great. That's just another good thing for us to know that you crack
Well,
it
and
open.
that's what I figured. It would be a good thing for you to know. And like I said, I don't directly set it on the floor. It's in the wooden table. And so that frame of the
Right.
table, it just goes inside there. So I don't have to worry about them like grabbing it or snatching it. They're not going to mess with it. They don't get under the table. Let me go put it back real quick.
Yeah, but that's great. Yeah, we always get that. We always get a couple major questions about it too. But yeah, I'm very impressed. The bag just by itself, which are when they all last. They last about 4 to 6 months just out of the bag because this smell eventually will dissipate and you'll have to replace the bag. But until then, yeah, we've had them go our own even have gone 6, 7 months before we have to fix them and put new ones in. But that's what's great about it. It's just a one-time deal and you're done like that. There's no spray, there's no mess, there's nothing. You just set it there, you're done.
And that's incredibly convenient, like I said, because cleaning up urine is not fun, right? There's puddle of urine.
Exactly.
How do you clean it up? Are you using paper towels?
Yeah.
Yep. Are you using cloths that you can rewash? Do you have to spray? Do you have carpet, wood floor? And if your wood floor isn't sealed, now it's in the wood. It's just a whole lot of things. And you can't always get it up, right? You get the floor that's not necessarily sealed or the carpet, even with a carpet cleaner. You can use a black light and still see it there.
Yeah, because that's what we always say too. When people say, well, I'll just clean the carpet. If you look at the statistics, a dog's nose is literally 100,000 to 1,000,000 times better than a human, they say. So even if we get the cleaner out, oh, it smells great, I don't smell it anymore. There's still one little drop that got through into the pad. They're going to smell it and they're going to go right back to it. That's the whole idea behind our product is the dog, again, can't help themselves. They have to, when they take them to a tree, it's not the tree, it's they smell 50 other dogs peed on it. So they've got to cover it because it's the pee. So, I mean, we even have videos on our website of us putting this on a tree outside, even though it's an indoor product, and those dogs will not pee on the tree, even though every dog in the neighborhood's peed on it. And they have every day themselves. They don't smell it. They don't smell it.
It's so funny. Somebody once referred to like urine and scenting and marking like that as pee mail. Your dogs don't have text messaging or email, so they leave each other a little pee mail note, right?
Yeah.
They can smell.
Exactly.
They can smell what the other dog is saying.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's why
I thought that was such a great thing.
Yeah. So
I think it's really cool what you guys have done because, again, like you said, you can clean the carpet. It's the same thing. If you give your dogs a blanket, this is what I had to do to solve a problem for me. My dog Fitz, when he was a puppy, he ripped up multiple dog beds because they smell like plastic and they smell like factory and they don't smell like things that he knows, right? So he would just destroy them. He didn't feel comfortable. So finally I said, you know what, forget this. I took an old blanket off my bed. I said, I'll just get myself a new blanket. And I put that blanket in his kennel. And he's had that same blanket now for 7 years. And yes, it's been washed multiple times, but you can wash the blanket in the best washer and dryer in the whole wide world. And your dog is still going to be able to smell those scents that are in there
because their nose is so good, and that's why it is. Their nose is just that good. Yeah,
dogs have like this whole olfactory system, and it's not even just, I mean, it's their nose, but it's like the ear, nose, and throat. Like the whole thing gets involved. And when they start scenting, they do that chatter with their teeth. And a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's them pulling more air in so that they can assess the smell better.
Right. Interesting.
Dogs,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, our product, also a big thing for us. I don't even know if you've seen that yet, but have you heard of the Global Pet Expo? And it's called Super Zoo also.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to Super Zoo. I went to Global and now I'm going to go to Super Zoo.
So. You see at Global, we got 3rd place, right? You know that.
I did not know
that.
Yeah,
we put our product in the New Product Expo, and there were over 500 dog products in the New Product. So if your product is less than a year old, which ours is, you're allowed to get in the New Product Expo. So there were 500 products that were in the New Product Expo for the dog division. Out of those 500, we got 3rd. So we've got a trophy. We got a big pictures, press release, all that. We got 3rd place at the Global Pet Expo because of this product. out of nowhere, basically, that people thought it was the greatest things. And we're going to be at Super Zoo. So we're actually in the new product expo for Super Zoo as well now. We went ahead and entered our cat version as well, but the dog version into that. Since Global Pet Expo now, we've shipped to Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Mexico, Canada, Paraguay, a bunch of pet stores in the US, all over. So yeah, I just rocketed with these different orders. And of course, we've been on Amazon and Etsy, and we got a big TikTok shop. In fact, our videos have gone viral. 2 or 3 of them are over 2 million views. So we have our product in the TikTok shop as well, which was, all this is new to us, by the way. We're like people off the streets, not like we're veterans to this stuff. So all new, just invented it, and it all of a sudden just kind of ramped itself up quickly. So it's great.
Well, you filled a need, right? People struggle with this. This is something that people struggle with. They don't know how to stop it. People put diapers on their dogs.
Yep.
People put pee pads on their dogs. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong at all, guys, with your dog having an accident or marking in your house, because as Glenn said, it is a normal, natural instinct function of a dog to do these things. So there's no shame or guilt or anything involved in this. It's just a normal thing that a dog would do. They are living in our houses in a world that they don't understand at all. And they're trying to communicate with us in a way and say, hey, I like this. I like the way this smells. I think I need to leave my scent here. I might need to leave a message for anybody who's going to sit in this chair. And that's what they do. It's really not a big deal. But there are so many people that want to prevent this, which is totally understandable because it's our house and we like nice things and we don't want our floor and our carpet and our chair and our table to be peed on. So you filled a huge need in an area that people have been struggling in for years and years. So to have a product that actually works, I mean, honestly, I gotta say, I was a little bit shocked because it stopped immediately. Like there wasn't any wind down. There wasn't any, here's a little pee here, here's a little pee there. There wasn't pee in a new place because of it. It just stopped.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, my wife's a professor, so she does a lot of research just in her job. But she did a lot of research too. The big thing about the dogs is our product actually covers up the smell of the urine. The two things in that powders, as you see the bag that we had, those powders, there's a couple things in here. The fresh scent that you and I smell, which, like you said, kind of maybe have a problem with you, but we made it a nice fresh scent, so it smells good to us. But there's also deodorizers in there too. And the big thing is you've got to cover that smell up. So you're never, no matter what you do, like on a wood floor and all that, you're never going to get it out. It's going to get in the cracks, going to get in the carpet. You're never going to get it 100% out. So our product deodorizes first, covers up that smell, so they don't smell it anymore. Then when they walk up, because they remember where they peed, they're not stupid. They remember that. They walk up, but they don't smell the pee, but then they also smell that scent, which we think smells great because it is fresh, but they don't like it. So like I tell people, it's not crippled. They're going to run away and scream and whine. They just go up to it, smell it, and leave because it doesn't mean anything to them. So they walk right back up to their pee spot. They don't smell the pee, number one, because the deodorizer covers it. Number two, in the bag, that fresh scent kind of repels them away. Hey, this doesn't, it's not a toy. It means nothing to them. So that's kind of what we did. And the funny thing is, when we were researching this to bring this product up, we tested it all over the country. We sent it to friends, family, friends and friends of friends, all over the country, big dogs, little dogs. And everybody came back and said it was great. What we found out, though, is all the sprays, all those things you can buy, they technically work. That's what's crazy about it. They do work. The negative is 5 minutes. When the spray dries up, they're right back at it again. So I don't want to sit there and just soak my carpet and soak my wood floor in spray. That's what we said. Well, these sprays work, but they don't work for very long. It's not going to help me. So that's kind of what we did. We had to find something that's permanent. We actually have a patent, the only one in the market that's permanent. There's no such thing like it that's permanent and keeps them away. And like you were saying earlier, it is our biggest hurdle is when you go to a pet show or an expo or wherever you're at, is to get people to admit that it happens. They'll walk up, they'll say, this sounds great, but then one of their family members will say, well, we don't need that. Well, our dog does pee. We noticed, and they don't want other people around them seeing them, even though they know they have the problem. But that's what's great about having it on different platforms to buy it, because you can come and look at our product, go to our website, and then buy it on your own at home. We do sell it at the expos, and we do sell a lot of them straight up to people. But there are a lot of people that will buy later because they, like you said, they're a little bit They don't like it and they don't want to talk about it, but yet it's part of life. It's just what dogs do.
Well, I think that people feel inadequate, right? They feel like they've done something
Yeah.
wrong because their dog is doing
Yeah.
this, and it necessarily isn't a potty issue
At all.
It could be potentially a training issue, but it could just be the dog being a dog, or it could be an UTI or some kind of bladder infection. It could be multiple different reasons, which is why I think it's important to take note of it, other than this is happening, but also look into it. And sometimes it is just like you said, a dog being a dog. Going back to your point about me still having it in the plastic bag, it does, you guys, it smells good. It smells like when you spray Febreze on something, it gives it that nice, clean smell. It has a nice scent to it. I'm just very, very, very sensitive to smells. And so I don't usually bring artificial scented things into my home because of that. So for the people out there, because I know that there are other people who listen to this podcast who have that sensitivity, leave it in the bag, because
that's interesting. I smile. It's very interesting.
If you think about it, again, dogs' noses are that much better than ours, right? So if you think about dogs who are scent trained to find drugs, or they put a dog on a fishing boat and the dog goes into the middle of the barrel of fish and digs out plastic bags of cocaine. They can smell the cocaine through the plastic bag, so they sure as heck can smell that through the plastic bag.
You're right.
Too.
You're right. But obviously, if you don't have that sensitivity, you definitely want to use it outside.
Oh, yes.
This is great. But yeah, and we get a lot of questions about the smell too. That it's not offensive at all. It's a great smell. That's why we did that. It's great to us, but you got to remember, a dog's nose is sensitive, like we just talked about. So what smells fresh to us, and again, it doesn't repel them like they run away scared, whining. They just walk up to it, smell it, and walk away. You literally can put it down by your dog's nose. He'll smell it and just turn his head because he doesn't care. It doesn't do anything for him.
It's the dining room table, guys. Like the dining room table. So you know for sure, as soon as somebody's sitting at that table eating, those dogs are underneath that table waiting for crumbs to drop down. They're not trying to stay away from it. They're just not peeing there anymore, which is fantastic.
And we all get a lot of big questions too about what if they take this and play with it? They're going to think it's a toy. But you have to remember a couple things. It doesn't have their scent on it, their slobber and all that. Number one, they're not going to want to pick it up. If they do pick it up, this is a cloth bag. So there's the powders will, like you and I, you put it in your mouth, you're going to taste those powders, you're going to put it down. The dog's no different. If your dog picks this up, they're going to pick it up, turn their head and drop it because it's got the powder. It'll come through when they put their mouth on it, and it won't taste good. So that big question we always get, well, won't they just pick it up and throw it and take it around? Well, no, they won't, because it's just no different than a human. They won't like the taste of it, and they'll run away from it and drop it.
With that being said, if they were to, because neither of my dogs have messed with it at all. They haven't even.
No, because they won't like it, number one. It's like us. If we picked it in our mouth, we wouldn't like it either.
But is there anything in it that people should be worried about if their dog was to eat it?
That's a good point. Part of our patent process, we had to prove, because in our patent, that it's totally safe. Kids, pets, it's totally safe. So even if you cut it open with a knife, threw it on the ground, let them lick it up, which they wouldn't, but if they did, it's totally safe. Yeah, kids, we have not even a 2-year-old grandbaby. She doesn't pick them up, but they're safe. She does, no problem. I mean, it's totally safe. And that was part of our patent. We had to prove that it was safe for all animals, humans, all that. Otherwise, there's like a million warnings you got to put out. So we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So yeah, it's completely safe.
Well, there's like those random golden retrievers or maybe a German short hairs that are like, I'm going to eat this sock. Well, it's about the same size as a sock. So I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, except when they grab it, powder will come through and then they'll just be done with it. They won't want to play with it. But the biggest question we get every time we're at a show or an expo is, won't they just go somewhere else? Well, people say, won't my dog, if I put that there and it covers it, won't they just go somewhere else? Well, here's my answer to that. If that was the case, your dog right now would be peeing every foot around your house, just everywhere. But they don't do that. They don't. Again, we talked about this earlier, but people say, well, if I put this there, they'll just go somewhere else. No, they're only going to that spot because they had the accident there, and now they smell the pee. It has nothing to do with your house, your table, your carpet, your wood floor. It's the pee that they have to cover. They can't help it. So no, they won't go somewhere else. That as you know too, but that's the point, because otherwise my entire house, every square inch should be full of pee if all they want to do is pee everywhere. And that's not what dogs do. They don't go everywhere and just pee.
No, and it's the same thing when they go outside. If you guys look at your yard where your grass is probably rotting in 5 or 6 different spots, it's because your dogs return to the same place every time. And they kind of cycle through their little preferred areas. And maybe that's because a squirrel peed there, or a skunk peed there, or a deer peed there. So they just automatically go to those areas because that's how nature works.
That's right. Well, that's why if people go to our website too, we've got videos posted. One of them is this bag outdoors, which is an indoor product, on the tree where the entire neighborhood, including our dogs, pee. We put it down, videoed our dogs. They walk up, they smell all over, especially my Shih Tzu. He takes a long time. He's like, hey, I was just here yesterday peeing. He smells and smells and smells, and he finally gives up and walks away. Even though literally around that tree, the grass is completely dead because of all the pee. So it's really interesting to show people that this product is not made outdoors, but the hardest place to stop a dog from peeing is outdoors where there's a million other dogs that have peed, and it stops them from that too. Interesting.
Yeah, which is really cool. And I like that you guys have shown that, because it's proof, right? The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was surprised that they didn't just continue to pee, that it stopped right away, that they didn't go somewhere else in the house. And I occasionally, especially in the winter, will put a pee pad down for Toby because he's 13 or 14 years old and he's 10 or 12 pounds and it's Iowa. He doesn't want to go outside. I don't blame him. So I'll give him a different place for him to go. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that.
No.
But you want them to go in the specified area. You don't want them to just continue to go to the bathroom where they had the accident, because that is where the problem started. I just think that it's really cool that this is something that works and that is easily accessible. And I love that you guys are a small business.
Yeah.
My idea is that a product that comes, one, out of necessity, but also out of total accident, right? You didn't expect for this to just blow up and be something that was a big, huge idea. You're just like, this could help people.
Exactly. And that's what we still are today with it. It's like the reach is getting further and further out there. And that's what we're kind of trying to do now. Now that we know it works and people are accepting it and it's becoming a big thing, hence Global Pet Expo, we're trying to expand it as quick as we can now because there's a big need for it. You go, like I said, you go on Amazon and they sell thousands of bottles of spray that don't work. That's what we're finally trying to get ramped up to, where people understand it. Pet stores are starting to carry it. The mom and pop pet stores, we're working on the big box stuff, would be great, but we're trying to get there. It is a niche product, I'll have to say that, but it's also one that I would bet you probably 2/3 of dog owners have had their dog have an accident. I mean, one of our slogans even is "Good dogs have bad days too." That's what we put up at our, and they do. So that's one of our good slogans we use. That's what we say about our two. Hey, sometimes they have a bad day.
If you're potty training a puppy, your puppy is going to have an accident in the house. That's just part of the process. And if you have to put a couple of these things out after you're done with the potty training experience just to prevent it from happening in the future, then great. But again, put out a secondary option. Leave that pee pad out somewhere where they can get to it in case there is an emergency, because they're just puppies and they don't know any better.
Yeah, we've shown a lot of people, trained them on how to use it for puppy training as well, because with a puppy, once they've made that accident, you put the bag there. Now, a puppy is going to think about, hey, I know where I peed. I'm going to go back there and pee again. They'll head back for the bag, but they won't pee because they won't smell it. But when you're training, that's when you say, hey, he has to go out, or she, because they're heading back for that bag. That means they got to pee. They're looking for the spot they had yesterday. So they're heading over there. Hurry up and get them outside. Get them out.
It's a very good indicator. I think a lot of people just don't know what to look for when it's a signs of like, my dog is potty training. But I always tell people, depending on how old the puppy is, you might need to go out every 15 minutes. You might need to go out every half an hour. You might need to go out every hour. It just depends on the age and the size and the breed.
To get them used.
Some dogs are much harder, like dachshunds,
Shih Tzu,
to potty train. Shih Tzus, they're much harder to potty train for a lot of reasons, because they are smaller and their bladder is smaller. And so they need to go to the bathroom more frequently. And if you don't stay on top of it, it's harder to potty train them. My parents have a dachshund that's like 13 or 14 years old, and he's still not fully potty trained, So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a product that I think everybody at some point if you have a dog, you're probably going to have that issue at some point. It's about protecting. In fact, during the holidays, we'll go to pet expos and stuff at the holidays. Our dogs used to love to go by the Christmas tree and pee. So we actually kind of make special ones for the holidays, because when you put your tree down, that'll stop them from going to the Christmas tree or wherever they're going to go on decorations that you don't want. So preventive as well.
And that goes back to your point about an outside thing being inside. So you bring a tree in, guys, and that tree, it might not have been another dog that's peed on it, but it's out in nature. So cats, deer, skunks, squirrels, possums, anything, those animals are climbing all over that tree, and there's definitely going to be some kind of waste on it. So if you're wondering why your dog goes to the bathroom on your Christmas tree, there's your explanation. It was out in nature and it smells weird. It doesn't smell like your house should smell. So they're going to pee on it and say, hey, this is ours now. And I'm going to let everybody know it.
Yep.
What do you think your biggest hurdle has been, besides just getting people to say we need this product, but just spreading the information on this product has been?
Yeah, I mean, to us, our biggest hurdle is, again, we're total newbies. I mean, from zero, we went from nothing, no background, no nothing. But to figure out how to get it like this is like one of the ways that you got to get out, you know what I mean? Different medias. We've actually put ads in Modern Cat, Modern Dog magazine. We've had a couple other magazines. There's a called Paw Prints, some little magazines that are out there. But the biggest hurdle is, once you know you have a good product, is to how to get it to the masses. That's the hardest thing, because nobody knows who you are, basically. It's like your podcast. I mean, you started with one person. You started with one. You got to grow it. That's the thing. And that's what we're trying to do is grow it any direction we can. Anybody that we can find and tell somebody who tells somebody who tells somebody is how I grow it. So, but yeah, our biggest hurdle is definitely how to grow it and how to get our name out there.
That's small business in a nutshell right there.
Exactly. You can throw crazy amounts of money at it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be seen or used. That's our other problem too. We don't have the means to go on a TV ad on national TV. You know what I mean? Spend $5 million on a TV ad. That's just not in the books. So that's our biggest issue too. I think now that we've had a lot of good PR from the Gold Pet Expo, and actually, weirdly enough, TikTok, podcasts like you're doing, those are the big things that get our name out there quickly. You have viewers that I have no way of reaching, basically, without you. You see what I mean? So they would never know about us.
The power of community in small business is really, really big. And that's something that I like to share and talk about on the podcast, because this industry is ever growing, ever changing. There's constantly new products and technology out there that is so useful and so beneficial to people. It makes life easier for everybody. That's why I bring businesses like yours onto this podcast, because these products are life-changing. They are better for you because you don't have to clean up the pee anymore, but that's also better for the dog because there's not a miscommunication anymore about, is this okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly right. I mean, it's one of those products that people don't go tell your friends, hey, my dog has accidents in the house. It's not something you really talk about. We don't worry anymore. You put it down, you don't have to worry anymore. They're not going to go. That's that's the whole goal here. I'd rather not they go in the floor. I mean, I don't want them to. So that's what's great about our product, is we can actually take like you were saying earlier, take it off your mind that they might be going right now somewhere and you don't know it. And a lot of times people don't even know it. You have a dark carpet or something like that, you're not even going to know. And that's what I heard you say about a black light flashlight too. It's one way you can find out where they're going. We tell people, if you don't know, get a black light flashlight. It'll light up like luminol. You'll know where they've been going.
You'll know for sure. That's a really good point. You might not know right away, because if they're peeing in the corner under the curtains, until it starts to smell or until somebody steps in it, you're not going to know that it's happening.
Yeah, true. So your listeners too, and obviously our product is for sale on Amazon.
Well, and what the listeners always appreciate is a discount code. So if you guys want to give us a discount code, and we can throw that up for the listeners and have them go to maybe your home site or your Etsy store or whatever.
Okay,
10 or 15%. People appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll tell you that, again, we're not techies. We're not all that. We're growing. Yeah. But you can, on our website, we don't have it set up like through Shopify or whatever to buy it from our website. What we're doing on TikTok Shop right now is if you buy 2 or more, you get 10% off.
Okay.
So if you go to our TikTok Shop, you could buy them through there, and they're 10% off. And by the way, our product's $11.99. That bag is $11.99 retail price, and it lasts about 6 months before you have to replace it. So the funny thing is, if you go online and you look at the sprays and stuff, the cheapest spray is like $13.99. The highest one's like $22. So we're below that price, and ours is permanent. Ours isn't something you have to spray every 5 minutes. So we've kind of priced it down. But yeah, as far as discounts go, if you reach out to our email, how about we do that too? We have our email. We can give straight discounts, and I'll ship it direct. Our email is pretty simple. I'll put this up here. doggynop.com is our website, and doggynop@gmail.com. But you see, we're also on Etsy and TikTok and all that. What we'll do from the podcast, if you email me directly, like I said, I'll ship it directly, because with our $11.99 price, that includes shipping.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, like you buy on Amazon, that's including shipping. You buy it on TikTok Shop, that's including shipping to your house. So if you come to my email, since don't have the codes all set up yet, we'll do 20% off if you email me. And that'll include shipping. That'll include shipping. So you're what, about $10 now? A little less than $10, really. And I'll include the shipping.
That's great. Thank you. So there you guys go.
Yeah,
get 20% off.
Send me a couple emails, and I'll just give me your address, and have a Square, take credit cards, PayPal, all those, Zelle, Cash App. I do have all those.
Get all that figured out. That's the hard part to do.
But yeah, that's the other thing that people don't realize too. When you start this business, if you don't know what you're doing, you can't just go on Amazon and click a couple buttons and start selling. It's not that simple. It's very difficult. TikTok Shop, very difficult. They have a lot of rules. Our website, we built the website. We didn't even build it. We paid somebody to do it. But we didn't even think about having a Shopify where you could buy on the website. We just told everybody, hey, go to Amazon, go to Etsy, go to TikTok Shop. Because like Amazon, I don't have to worry about sending it. You just go to Amazon and it gets shipped to you through Prime the next day. And it's the same price. Obviously, to cover what you're doing, just have them email. It'll be great. I look forward to helping them out, give an extra discount more than we do anywhere else since we're talking today. But yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'll make sure that the email is in the episode description so that people can click on your website, or they can directly email you and reach out for that 20% discount.
Yeah.
But you guys, definitely this product works. You don't have to worry about the floor or the carpet getting ruined or being wet, and it smells good, and it prevents there from being a puddle when you get home. What would you like to leave the listeners with today?
Number one, good dogs have bad days too. So remember that. Good dogs have bad days too. They're only peeing because it's their nature, not because they hate us or because they like that spot in your house. They're just doing it because they can't help it. Dogs are, I don't want to say dogs are people too, but dogs are people too. And they have bad days too. So you have to hang in there with them and make sure you use no pee.
Yes, exactly. Dogs have an emotional intelligence just like people do. And anything we can do to help them and make our lives easier at the same time is a win-win for everybody. Respect your dogs, get your no pee. And if you have questions or want a out front testimonial from me, hit me up, and we will see you guys next week on Straight Up Dog Talk.